I'm gonna start my stream, restart my stream. All right, and there you go. All right, we're gonna get into this because having technical difficulties is no fun. And if shit hits the fan again, I'm just gonna run the map through Discord. It's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna work. Okay, so very quick recap from last session, just to just to get us caught up. Basically, you guys were continuing your march through the mire of dead men. Um, you got caught up in. I'm just yeah, reading straight from what. Hold on.
Hold the door. Hold. Oh, that's my guy.
All right. So you guys had been caught up in some quicksand. Had to fight off a family of crocodiles. After that, you took the time to heal. It was at that point that some Yuan-Ti abominations came by and took you guys on. There, it was there that you started rummaging through the Yuan-Ti's bodies. You eventually found a note that said, "Search the mire for suitable locations. Our attack on the Northern Kingdoms rely on it." You then kept that one. You guys also wanted to kind of cover up the scene of this situation here. So the Yuan-Ti were buried in the quicksand, and the heads of the crocodiles were placed on spikes around the quicksand in order to mark it off. After this, you guys started to you could picked up on the tracks, started making your way in, and once you got there, um, well, excuse me, sorry, no, before that, my apologies. You guys fought some giant constrictor snakes. Um, the fight raged on as you fought some smaller ones and some bigger ones, and after the larger ones died, a zombified snake came up out of the ground and started to attack the party. In the end, you were able to destroy it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe somebody got I think Aaron got a really powerful attack on it in the very end. Oh, that's right, he did, because I got really pissed off because
Yeah,
the thing
critted.
had. Yeah, you critted because the thing has a condition where I can roll for it not to die, but you crit on it, so I couldn't do that. So at this point, the group had caused the group had healed up again, and you started to realize that there was some, you know, undead magics tied in with the swamp. I mean, it is the mire of dead men after all. But you also during that fight realized that there were small pockets of gas that were here in the swamp. That if you cast a fire spell, there was the potential that it could explode. You guys actually created a massive explosion to get rid of the spider bodies.
Yeah,
Damn near
baby.
a nuclear blast. Uh, so, with that combat out of the way, you guys trudged on through, and you eventually came across the lizard folk camp that had been going through. The what From what you could see, there are a number of these carts that are on sleds pulled by large snail-like creatures. Um, there's roughly about, I think I said maybe about 50 or so lizard folk milling about this area. They're of various size, some younger, some older, but there are some uh, that are dressed in, you know, some armor, carrying weapons around the place. Those are actually the ones on the map that you can see. The leader of the group, the one who was kind of commanding out orders to the rest of them, is the one on the cart led by the blue shelled snail. And that once you arrived, this leader of the group, the one that you have assumed as leader, told a larger lizard folk who was literally a large creature, off to find food for the group, go out and hunt something. So at this point, you all started watching the group as they went about their business. They started boiling large pots of water over by this one fire. You could see then the two carts holding what you determined to be the hostages, because you could note that four of them had garbs similar to that of the Neverwinter Guard, and the other ones looked like basic commoners, and you all presumed that these were the merchants that were delivering the wagons of ale and other goods to Lylon. As at that point, you also noticed that the barrels of ale were being unloaded and taken over before the leader of the group. So at this point, the group decided to sit down and figure out what their best options of attack were. Through an almost 2-hour long discussion of various potential tactics and plans, the one course of action that did occur in all of this was that Anime was turned invisible by Smith's spell and sent out into the camp to do a little bit of recon. She was gone for a couple minutes, and then whenever she eventually flew back, she informed Iluna that the lizard folks were aiming on using the humans there as bait for creatures known as rot trolls. The group then the group was still set on sending someone in to potentially attempt to parlay, that being you disguised or shape changed into that of a lizard folk. And since Jared was not here last session and we were a little close to the end, we decided to hold off as the camera panned in on Me's face before we finished off the session to allow him the opportunity to speak his mind on what he thinks should be the course of action and offer his opinion. So that is where we're going to pick up for today. You are all, like I said, you're still a good, football field away from this camp. But you are in a location where you are hidden from their prying eyes.
Hear me out. We can still maybe get a parlay with them. I will go in with you, disguised as a lizard folk or shape change or whatever. I can maybe convince them to do trade in my business. Might benefit everybody. Negotiations go south. We blow them all from here to hell and back with one of our good friends here's fireballs.
I like balls of fire.
Well, at this point, we know their biggest concern are the trolls. They might not be interested in trade just right now, but it seems like a benefit to suggest.
We help them out, they release the prisoners, we get a new trade route, it all works out. They go ahead and decline, we make sure not a single one walks off free.
Yeah.
Off? You mean chop their legs off?
More broader sense, but sure you.
Yeah, that's not up to my wheelhouse.
So we'd offer to help them with their trolls, because that definitely seems the most pressing matter. I mean, they captured all these people just to do that.
Well,
to take
let's
care
go
of the
see
troll.
if they're even willing to talk first. You want to go ahead and become a lizard folk and be my ambassador for the crew, as always?
Are all of us hanging way back here? Isn't there there's quite a distance between where we're at and the
300 feet.
Yeah. Are we all staying way up here, or are we gonna try and
I
get
was assuming you
closer.
guys were going to be fairly back until I give a signal or something, or until you hear a
Oh,
blood-curdling scream of a lizard folk getting stabbed in through the throat.
oh my. Um, were you interested in? So he's gonna go in as a lizard folk, and you're going to just
I'm going in with them.
look like a you're gonna be a goblin.
Yeah,
Oh,
if I'm
very
trying to
cool.
convince them to join my crew and open up a trade route with me, why wouldn't I go in looking like myself?
Yeah.
At
Okay.
least with you, I can have him be my ambassador.
So I'm gonna need all my shit back.
That's fine. Just make sure that you add it back to your inventory.
Um, at one point, Cephas suggested the flying carpet for a quicker escape, unless you're not intending to turn about if something goes off. You would just fight, I guess. And I mean, that's between Cephas and you guys if you want that option.
You can have it. I don't know what your plan will be though. Either fight or flight.
And we're not going to
I
have a
guess we'll
plan
start this plan then.
for getting the people out. We're just gonna wait to do anything with them as well.
We're going to go in, we're going to negotiate for the freedom of the people, and if negotiations go south, well, then we'll go a different route. He says that with a big shit eating grin. So, shall we?
Mm,
So, are you taking? I'm just curious, so I know what you have with you. Are you taking the flying carpet?
I was just gonna go me and you, and we were gonna offer and go talk.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were taking the flying carpet because I didn't know if you with Cephas offering that up. I didn't know if you were taking that as like an escape route. Like I said, I just want to know what you have and what you don't.
Yep. Nope. I will decline the magic carpet as an escape route.
Alright.
We've been in worse situations. We can get in and out.
You were just gonna like walk straight in, or you're gonna be
Yep.
because
Walking
Yu's
in,
initial
telling
suggestion
them
was
that we don't mean any harm, and we were gonna start
Yep.
negotiations.
okie
And if
dokies.
negotiations go south, well, the swamp might become
Answer?
uh, might become a little redder. Lizard folk bleed red?
Oh,
Yes.
I'm saying this in character, by the way, like me staring
Oh,
upwards, and
that's
he's like,
gross.
do they bleed red? I guess we'll find out.
um, before they head off, can I see about soul berries or soul mashes berries? I want to give them to the prisoners or rescues or whatever they end up being.
Yeah, like what do you want to check with it?
Well, it's supposed to have so many
Yeah, she grows 1d4 plus 1 every day. I know there was a limit to that.
What are these?
Um,
What's Mama do?
Don't worry about what mom's doing, boy.
I thought the limit was like 20, but If
I
there's
was.
one
I think
D4
that's.
plus one a day, can we
Well, I
work
mean,
out how many
I
would be
think.
on
I think
there?
the. I think the limit was 20.
I know some were used.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
don't think you've used any in the last couple days.
so can I do 2D4 if it's been a couple of days to see if
Yeah,
any grew?
yeah. No, I'll give you 2d4. So it'll be 2d4 plus 2, kind of like a healing potion.
I mean, this is just like an extra boost to those poor people who've been missing for like.
Okay, so you have 7.
Well, that's not 8. Somebody's gonna have to
It's
go
not 8.
without. So close. I'll have to give somebody a ration, I guess.
Why do you
Okay.
like giving people rashes?
Ration.
All right.
Anyhow, that's just like a little when we get to the cages.
Coolio.
Good luck, guys.
I don't need luck. I have me.
Oh, the levels that
And
works
off
on.
we go.
All right. So, I'm gonna say that. Oh, Jesus Christ. You
I'm
get the fuck
strolling
back
on
there.
in.
Yes, my child.
I see that. Yeah, I'll say that. You're all able to move up a little bit of closer distance. I'm gonna put you guys back about 100 feet from the edge of the camp. So you're not necessarily within like dashing distance, but you are within like you know like some spells and ranged attack for the
Okay.
most part. Just want to we'll say that you guys move up as a group. You stay quiet enough. Nobody's really picked up on you at this point. I don't know why I moved Iggy. So me and
Those
you.
And I don't know why you have to keep picking on you.
So I gotta move him. All right. So me and you start to the two of them break off from the path or break off from the pack, and you start heading further in towards the camp. It's at this point that those in the camp start to notice. You hear in Draconic, the lizard folk in here are starting to hush and murmur. A lot of the ones that are over in this area, like I said, on the map, I don't have all 50 of the lizard folk. I only have the ones that are carrying weapons. But you see some of the younger ones or some of the smaller ones, they kind of like see you over coming up through the brush in the swamp, and they start making their way more back towards this like central area. There's some commotion going on. You see when this happens, some of the other lizard folk start to make their way over, and they kind of take what appears to be a more defensive position around the central area, but 4 of these lizard folk that are carrying scimitars and whatnot, they come to meet you at the edge where these soldiers and merchants are being kept. As you walk up and you get within, earshot of them, they all four draw their swords, and they have them in hand, and they look at the two of you as you're walking up, and each one of them is also bearing now a shield, and they say in Draconic, "Stop where you are. What business do you have?"
Aaron, you're gonna have to relay that information to me. I don't speak Draconic. Me will look to you and be like, "What are they saying?"
They're asking us our business.
And I'll look over at you and be like, "Well, I'll say it in common, and then you just repeat what I say in Draconic before you do all the talking here." Basically, tell them that we just want to go ahead and do some business. Maybe get these prisoners of theirs released and maybe start a trade deal with them in return, or help them with any other problems they might have.
When you say this, you see the guards in the wagon as well as the merchants. You like hear a bit of a commotion in there as they're like, "They'll rescue us. Where are they from? I don't recognize them. Who are they?" And all of a sudden, the two lizard folk that are staying next to the cage just kind of like bang on them with their shields, and they just give this guttural hiss towards them. And then they turn back and they look at you.
I'm going to relay everything that he says in Draconic.
Okay. These four look at you and they say, why should we release them? They are going to create the bait we need to draw off the trolls that follow us. Do you wish to see your kin killed?
You are my kin.
That is the
As he
point.
said, as a response to them, and then he flies back
He
to
says,
relates to me.
he says, that is the point. The trolls are following the villages. They seek to eat our kin. Yet you come here asking for us to give up our bait.
Then why don't we kill the trolls following your village? It is that way we get the people go. Truth be told, I don't care about the people. I just want the ale you stole from the shipment because the town is out of ale.
When you say that, you see all the you see the merchants and the guards are like, the ones like, what? It's like there's a murmur. It's like they're just gonna leave us and take the ale. What
But
sense does that make?
but my comrades won't be too happy with blood on our hands. Maybe we can get.
Wait, what did you say? Maybe we can get what?
Oh, I said my comrades won't be too happy if we left the people here to die. So maybe we can get the ale and get the people, and maybe go kill the trolls.
Like they look at the two of you, and they say, the one says, "In what way do you think you could kill the troll? The two of you look but whelps."
Oh, it's not just us two. There's. Let's go ahead and put it this way. If we really wanted to, we could just completely ignore the negotiation part and by chance blow this place up. But I'm a civil man. You people seem like civil lizards. Maybe we can work this out so there's less death and carnage.
Roll an intimidation check. Or actually,
Do you want me to say that? Do you want me to roll that since I'm relaying that back to them?
Yes. Yeah, you are the one relaying this information. So go ahead and roll an intimidation check, you.
23.
The four of them kind of like look back and forth at one another. And there's a moment of pause between all of them. And the one says, "Get Hassan. He is
But I
the
don't have a
elder."
son.
He gives you this like very tired look. He says,
God, I hope the leader speaks common so I can apologize for you being almost an idiot, except I don't know what you was saying in Draconic.
and at this point, you see the one, walk back here. He moves through the crowd of other folk, and then comes back over with this one. And as he's walking up, you get a better look at this one. He is. Let's see if we still have that picture pulled up. Yeah, no, I don't have the good picture anymore. It would take me some time to find it. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, here we go. So this one walks up. He's kind of wearing more like ceremonial clothing. More. He's actually wearing like accoutrement that would be indicative of more of a shaman, if anything else. And as he approaches, he looks at the two of you and then stops and says, in common, they tell me that you are here to discuss the release of the bait. And he gestures to the two wagons behind him.
Discuss the release of them, discuss maybe getting some of the ale that you stole back, and discuss maybe future business to where if we help you guys out, you help myself out with maybe safe passage of a certain trade route that would be off the books of the main towns and whatnot. That would also allow you guys to get food and supplies. And I would be willing to give you guys some higher quality product. But first things first, we need those people in the wagons, and we need. I guess we can part with one of the barrels of ale that you stole, but we're going to need that ale back. Which is why I'm willing to negotiate of what you need done, along with my lizard folk ambassador here, as he gestures to you.
And he folds his arms. He says, reveal the ones claim to be powerful beyond yourself. Where are your others?
Outside of the camp, waiting for a signal to either blow you all from here to hell and back, or to go ahead and come up and help. So after that, me will just kind of turn and whistle to try and get the group to come up.
Um,
Do the rest of you approach the camp?
yeah, I presume that's a signal we already agreed on.
Smith,
Yeah.
cast fireball.
Jesus Christ.
I don't have fireball. Minor illusion of fireball.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Minor
idea.
illusion of fireball.
Yeah,
Oh
Iluna
yeah.
would.
Oh, that's weak.
That's
weak.
wow. That's
What?
I mean,
What?
you did wow, that's actually a really sad fireball.
Yeah, that was. Good thing it was a joke cast and not a real
Yeah,
cast.
I mean, that's a good thing, but like you're treating every one of those ones as a 2. So he just that 16. That's you know what? That's impressive.
What?
I mean, I guess on the bright side, that would kill the non-warrior lizard folk of the women and children.
Oh my god, yes,
So
that
we
would
mean
annihilate all of them.
Yeah, I would come out with my no weapons drawn or anything.
Okay.
He really wants to keep those people safe.
Smith and Steve, I'm assuming you guys, the two of you head up with Iluna.
Yeah, and I would probably say in Draconic so they are aware I know when they're speaking in Draconic.
We're gonna put do this. Do this. There we go. That's a good order.
We can help with your trolls for our people back.
So you see, as the rest of you are starting to make your way out of the foliage and cover that you had, you see there's like, a commotion. You can hear as you see your group coming up behind you, you hear a lot of the lizard folk in the camp saying, "How long were they there? We did not see them nor hear them. There are so many, and the one is so large. Do you think they could?" And then you hear like another one, whispers, "It is possible. Maybe with their help, we will be free of the menace for some time."
Oh. And I hear this?
No, this is as you guys are walking up. Yeah, this is before you have even approached.
So we didn't hear them murmur yet?
No, this was like some of the lizard folk that were further back in more like the center of the camp, like more the commoners.
Fair.
Only you would have heard this.
But yeah, so as you walk up, you see the chieftain in front of you. He's nodding his head approvingly, seeing the size and scope of your party. And he says, "Common, I see you speak no bluff. Your clan is powerful, it seems. Strong and magical. Your terms." And he looks back down at you, me. "You wish for the release of these humans, yes?
And the ale.
The ale. And in return, you will rid these swamps of the trolls that hunt us. Yes."
Point us in the direction of where they're stationed at, and I promise you won't hear from them ever again. And then, after we get this settled, assuming you're the leader, we can discuss trade deals. Sound like a plan?
He looks down at you. And he looks at your party. And he goes to reach his hand out towards you. To shake it.
I spit in my hand and put it in his.
When you spit, there's almost like a moment of reserve. But it is at that point, before he reaches his hand out to fully grasp yours in agreement, you hear a crashing sound come from the north side of the camp. At this point, as you look up, you can see that larger lizard folk that was sent out in order to go find some food for the camp. You can just see his dead body come flinging through the trees, crashing down in front of where this pool of water is, sliding through the muck. Hisses and screams erupt from the village as, barreling through the trees, you see two of these rot trolls appear behind it.
Ooh.
As they crash through the foliage and let out these guttural gurgles. And it's at this point I need everyone to roll initiative.
Man.
I was going to say, right before the initiative roll, as we all see that, Me stands there with a shit-eating grin, and he goes, "We gotta shake first."
And uh he looks at you and he says, I will agree to your terms, but help us first.
I can accept that.
Oh no. I wasn't planning on going first. Can I roll again? Oh, good. I'm not first. Everyone's got 21s.
So say,
Okay,
do you
I
want to
can.
roll? Do you want to roll initiative with disadvantage?
Well, Iluna wants to
Give
help
those
these
first.
people out of the cage so they don't get like trampled or
And roll a
whatever.
21.
And or at least give them good berries. I didn't even get to that point.
Don't you break my terms and conditions here. If you release them, they'll feel betrayed and they'll turn on us instantly. You leave those people in those cages.
So they can get trampled. I
Only
can't
if we let the trolls get that close.
at least
All right,
the
so
women and children lizard folk can run
Truth be
away.
told, me doesn't care about the merchants or guards. So he only did the terms to get them released because he knew that you guys would be angry.
what a champ. I'll tell you what, it's playing at the library is so like different when running combat because most of my players roll physical dice. That like having it just show up on Encounter Plus is such a it's such a like a relief because like I don't have to
Oh.
bug you guys about what is and isn't there. What did you roll? 21.
Yeah,
21.
it's a lot
And on
of
top of that, I
21.
can also just look at D&D Beyond. All right. So, like I said, breaking through breaking through into where the swamp is, letting out these harsh gurgles and shouts. You see these creatures. They resemble trolls, but their flesh is rotting and decaying away. There's a putrid smell that comes from them as you see them rushing up into here, going towards the large cluster of lizard folk in the center of the camp. In fact, let me see here. I'm going to say, Iluna, you're the only one that notices. Like you all notice this putrid smell as they break into this clearing where you're at. You're the only one that actually smells a slight whiff of the same scent off to the west of where you are standing, off to the left side of the map.
So I can smell more.
You can definitely smell that smell coming from that direction.
Well, I'll just
Is it a
say
smelly smell?
Smelly smell that smells smelly.
it seems there's more over there. I can smell them.
All right, me, top of the order.
Gross.
Let's see if you guys can
Anyhow.
save the lizard folk.
I only want the ale. How far away are they from me?
From
I know I'm gonna have to use my
85
crossbow,
feet.
but 85? Okay.
Yep.
I'll pull out my crossbow, show good faith. I will kind of go over to here
Okay.
to where the water is. 25? Yeah, that's 25. And I'm going to shoot at R1.
So that is 60 feet. So being that you're shooting outside of the outside of the first range on your crossbow, it's going to be made with disadvantage.
Yep. I just want to check something here.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, unless you had sharpshooter.
Yeah, but that's not what I was checking. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Since I'm technically making an attack with a one-handed weapon, I can use my bonus action and fire it again, right?
As
'Cause it
in...
like shoot two crossbow bolts because a crossbow expert. It's if you make an attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use
Oh.
your bonus action and fire with the crossbow, and the crossbow is considered one-handed. So I didn't know if that
Yeah.
applied or not. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because you have crossbow expert, the loading property is ignored. So that
Doesn't matter.
means
Yep.
that you can shoot it and then use your bonus action to shoot it.
Sweet. That is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Woohoo! 6 damage, piercing damage.
Right.
And actually, for the second shot that I load up, I think I'm going to load it with an entangling arrow.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay. I gotta
Actually,
look at...
no, not entangling. We'll go explosive. The target takes an extra 1848 fire damage and catches on fire, taking 2d6 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. The target can end this damage by using its action to make a DC 16 dexterity check to extinguish the flames.
Alrighty then. Go ahead and attack.
16.
That hits.
All right, let's see. That's 3 piercing damage. How much did I say? 48.
That is
Okay.
4d8.
1, 2, 3, 4. That is 17 fire damage, and now he is on fire.
Yes, he is.
And now I no longer have my explosive arrow.
It's true, you do not. What does that button do? Oh, that's what that button do. All right, I'm gonna
Piece of
do.
candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh, I should have.
Piece of
No,
candy.
it was. Do you remember how much D6 it was? Because I deleted it, which deleted the damage for.
Oh,
on
yeah, I can pull it up on my side because it's just the explosive arrow from an alchemical archer.
Okay, cool.
So I got you.
And after I do this, me turns to the general and he goes, "And see, we're not all weak and small like your comrades thought."
He looks at you and he gives a an approving nod.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Here we go. We'll see if I can get that going. Wait, do I have line of sight on? Oh, no, I don't. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah, that one is now on fire.
uh-oh.
I'm gonna...
You better not explode.
There we go. It's not completely dark, but it is dark. All right. So after that, Smith, it's your turn, buddy.
They're 85 feet away, you said?
From where you are standing, that first troll closest to you is 85 feet. Yes. There we go, Jared.
I'll use a fire chromatic orb at the one that me shot, I guess.
Okay. Yep, that is the one that is currently on fire. Jesus. Yes, absolutely, that hits. Nice. It lets out a scream as it's on fire. It's just, and like you see its skin kind of like melting and swafting off as it's trying to like pat itself out. You see bits and pieces of its flesh just flinging to the ground that are still alit.
Nice.
All right,
I'll be
Iluna. Oh, all right.
I'm gonna move a little bit to keep an eye on these people in these cages.
Yep, you can see that they have all kind of compressed themselves up against one corner of these. The guards are less so in that matter, but the merchants have definitely like piled into the farthest corner from where these trolls are coming.
And I'm gonna say in Draconic, please can they be freed before I aim my arrow or my bow?
The chieftain, he turns
I
back
clicked
at you.
early, but
I see that.
I didn't need to.
You shoot and it
myself.
just kind of like drops to the ground. You're like, look, I can't help them if they're in the cage. Like my arrows are just gonna flop. The chieftain looks back at you, and you can see that he is holding aloft this staff that he has over his head. As he's shaking it, there's this like these bones clattering on it. And you can hear he's muttering something to himself, and he looks back at you and he says, the keys are in the cart that sorry. The keys are on the cart with the blue-shelled snail. You would have to retrieve them.
You done fucked up.
Huh?
So, do you want to attack now?
Yeah, but you can count me stupid first.
I will ignore that roll.
But I'm gonna aim at the other one that's not on fire.
Okay.
Because I'm aiming to blind it or make it my favorite foe or something.
Okay, that's fine. Just let me know what you want to do.
Or something. I want to
that
do
misses.
or something.
Okay, let's try again. When I use that amulet, that's not an action to use the
What
clockwork.
amulet? The clockwork amulet is when you make an attack roll, you can forego the d20 to just get a 10.
And that would make 18.
No, I mean you have to declare that beforehand. You forego the roll. Now I mean you can use your inspiration to re-roll that, but you have to declare that you're using the clockwork amulet before you roll.
Yeah, my second attack. That would.
Oh yeah, you can just do that. Yeah, if you want to use your clockwork amulet for your second attack, yes.
Then that would just make it an 18.
Correct.
Okay, that's hits then.
All right. And you said that you were going to use your you're using your ammunition to blind it.
Well, one of the charges to, but I'd still roll the oh my goodness, the attack hit.
Yeah, you still roll the
normal way.
damage. Yes. I just wanted to make sure that you were trying to blind it because it's gonna roll. That's
Yes, try to blind
con
it.
save DC
off the little block.
13. It takes 4 damage. It succeeds its con save.
Lucky.
God.
Well, they surprisingly very constituted. They have a +6.
Is it
Lucky.
full of rot?
Man, I can only imagine being that constipated.
But I can still
you
use favored foe, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You could still use
Okay.
favorite foe. That just requires you to when you hit a creature. So yes.
Do. Yeah. I keep forgetting about that the last time. Right, the first time, and then every subsequent time.
Wait, say that again.
The first time I hit it, and then every time I hit it after then, it would do that
Correct.
1d6
Yeah.
extra.
So yeah, you can add an extra d6 to that, and which was a 4. Okay. Is now the favored foe of Iluna. All right. Oh wait, sorry.
That's too far
And-
for anime to fly.
Well, that is 60 feet. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have her just be nearby.
Okay.
And is that bracelet? Oh my goodness. Where's? Yeah, Albina's still here. You didn't like omit
Yes. Nope. She is just. She's gonna do her thing.
her. I'm gonna increase her AC, I think. Because the rad strikes if she attacks with a weapon, and she doesn't always attack that way.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
Safeguard is also a +2 to her AC until the beginning of your next turn. So, is that what you want to do?
I mean, might as well.
Okay. Albina's AC is currently 21.
21.
I mean, I'm
21?
bracelet all the flipping time, so.
Right. Aaron. It is
Yo.
Yu's turn.
Yeah, it is.
How
Ugh.
many charges do I have? I have 5. No!
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
Fuck you, Kenku. I just turned him down a little bit because I had him
That's
at like
hey,
100%.
you guys do not need to keep that up. That is for the Twitch and YouTube audience.
Total of 2 viewers, one of them being Justin.
Yeah. My 39 followers and I think 20
Only
YouTube
Justin.
subscribers. Yeah. All right, what you doing, buddy?
I'm gonna move as far as I can.
Towards these things?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be 30 feet. So that's going to put you about 2 squares ahead of me.
Alright, that's 50 feet. I'm going to hit that one that is lit up in flames with Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Hit.
Wait. Yeah.
Good old
Okay.
Eldritch.
There's a really cool that hits. There's a really cool Bloodborne themed. Jesus fucking Christ! You and your goddamn nat 20s. Roll damage. Yeah, you rolled so close to max damage. All right, it doesn't matter which one we take. So it's going to be that +2, so 23. Jesus Christ. You see this troll is like trying to pat out the flames on it, as all of a sudden its one arm is just like blown apart down to the bone. You see muscle and fibers just blown out the back as it just like it's actively still trying to put out these flames that are on it. Do you do anything as a bonus action? You really only have Misty Step. I just didn't know if you wanted to use it for anything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this one back here is going to rush up. It's gonna.
As you, as
Huh? What'd you say, buddy? Aaron? Did I disconnect?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
No,
okay.
just Aaron.
All right.
Aaron's
Well,
dead.
this one. Well, this one is running up in front of you. And as it is standing in front of you, you see that now that you're closer to this thing, it is almost exuding this aura about it. The ground that it walks on, the swampy terrain, even though a lot of what is in this swamp is already death and detritus, the ground is you screams like a little girl. The ground is almost like rotting from this thing. There's this like rancid degeneration almost coming from it. And that is going to be that both Aaron, both you, you take 12 points of necrotic damage, simply being in the presence of this thing. And you actually see the flail snail that is moving, that is on this, that has this cart in front of it. You even see it recoil back away from this, like starting to move, pulling this wagon with it behind it.
We can talk at any time, right?
Hey, Lucas.
Yeah, buddy.
Hellish Rebuke.
You think Hellish Rebuke is if it makes an attack on you. I don't think if it's
Nope.
you take damage.
it
No?
just says
I was
a
wrong?
creature that damaged you.
Oh yeah, that's right, it does. Because
Which you
because
take in
that was the
response to
thing
being
that happened with
damaged
my
by a
warlock, where I
creature
couldn't
within
see the guy who damaged me, but he still went up in flames.
I need to double check this, but what were you going to say, Stacy?
Oh, I was just gonna shout to Smith to consider using knock so they can get out. Use knock to help. I mean, obviously it's up to him. Fireball might be more important by the time it's his turn, but
Fireball's always more important.
I actually don't even know how knock. Oh wait, you said he needs to be about 60 feet away from it, so he could use it if he wanted to.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Smith used knock in front of you before. I'm almost positive.
Okay, but I mean, I don't remember.
He's never used it in front of you before.
I know he hasn't used it in front of you, but he used it in Neverwinter, in Castantino's casino.
Casino.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that he's gonna take the Hellish Rebuke. I don't see. I mean, the damage was dealt by this creature's yes. So let me make a dex save. Go ahead and roll your 2d10. Hey, and it's a fail.
I think that's cute.
Oh, what the fuck are you? Oh, that's right. You upcast it because you're a fucking warlock. Oh my god.
Let's go!
Since the Okay, wait. At the end of each of his turns, each creature takes that. Unless the troll has to cast or fire damage since the end. Unless. Fuck!
He's trying to do
Okay.
the math to see if it's dead or not.
No, I have to see the math if I can do what I just did again on the troll's turn, but because Aaron's a piece of shit, I can't.
Good job.
Why?
I'm not going to tell you why.
Aaron. Study your sheet and work it out. Maybe do it again.
All right. So you see that that these two, or that this lizard folk here, he is going to pull out a javelin and throw it at the rot troll, dishing out 4 points of damage. At this point, it is the rot troll that is currently on fire.
Yeah, he
so
is.
that means
I get to roll
go
that
ahead and roll the damage. Roll the
That
damage.
beautiful bean footage.
That stupid
Oh,
alchemist
that wasn't
archer.
too much of a fire. It's just like his skin hurts a little bit, like a
Oh yeah,
second
there we
degree
go.
burn.
Well, you know, Jared, that's enough to kill him.
All right, so it's taking this at the start of its turn, so that's 2 points of damage. It is going to rush forward.
No.
Oh, he's not going to try and extinguish the flames. Nice.
No, actually, in fact,
on.
he is going to use his action to jump into the water, creating a massive splash around him, extinguishing the flames.
Wait till he finds out what my next arrow does.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is waiting with bated breath. He's no longer on fire, but he can't do anything because he is. He's basically rolling around in there, and then stands up. Actually, he couldn't stand up. He's still prone. Actually.
Oh no,
All
he's
right.
drowning.
Did you skip
It
Albina?
is. Oh, I did. My bad.
I was like looking at initiative. I was like, it's way down here, and I didn't think she even moved.
Yeah. You know what? She's gonna come up to here, and we will say that Albina does her normal. She will do her normal, and we're gonna say that she summons spiritual weapon.
Spirit Guardians?
Ma'am, there's chocolate in my potato chips.
Do you think she would summon spirit guardians first before summoning spiritual weapon?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You know what? To be
Yeah.
honest, that's probably the case. All right, so she's gonna use a third level spell. She's gonna get some spirit guardians going on. There's the aura, and then she was back there, so she has 30 feet of movement. Yep, right to there. And that is going to be 3d8 on a... Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I definitely clicked spiritual weapon. There we go. 3d8. This thing's got to make a wisdom save. It's 15. That actually beats it. Nice. So he takes half.
I was like, they got con in wisdom, these giant things. Yikes.
And that would have been... Second. Okay. All right, and then it would have been that lizard fog, then the rot troll, now the chieftain. All right, so you see the chieftain. He walks up. He's shaking this stick over his head. He's chanting, and then shouts.
Ooga baga, ooga baga.
And let's see. He is going to make this shout, and you see the rot troll that is that is directly in front of you kind of like pauses for a moment, and the chieftain is like pointing this magical staff at it, and all of a sudden you just see it kind of like in a dazed state. All right. So this one I need to apply that, but we're going to move on to this lizard folk back here. He's going to shoot a javelin. That misses. These ones are moving. So I do want to point out that these ones are moving back in. You actually see that the lizard folk on this side have all moved back towards where all these carts are, as they are standing in a position defending the other lizard folk, like the women, the children, the commoners, those that do not have weapons. That is why they are standing back farther from where the rest of this combat is going on. And they are in fact throwing their clubs, or I mean their javelins and whatnot. But at this point, Iluna, your senses are correct, as coming crashing through the western side of this camp, you see another one of those trolls now burst through the tree. Oh, I have them a little bit further down. Burst through the trees on the other side of the camp, as it is barreling towards where these commoners and lizard folk soldiers are. And he's heading towards the ale.
No.
Thirsty troll. Thirsty dead troll.
Cephtus, it is your turn.
All right. I guess I'll just move to. I guess that's good. I'll just be raging as well, and I'll probably just shoot an arrow at R2, I think.
Okay.
Oh, can I light the arrow on fire as well?
Absolutely.
Let's do that.
Unfortunately, that misses.
Second attack.
Okay. That hits.
Damage. What do I roll for the fire damage?
1d4.
1d4.
You son of a bitch. I just realized what you just dealt to him. Okay. All right. You see that this one, he's starting to like... Were you attacking R1 or R2?
R2, I said.
Oh, okay. Cool. So I misheard then. Get you back for healing there, buddy. I'm going to take some damage. Okay. Yeah, you see that like this one's in a bit of a daze, as he's kind of just like back and forth and just not really like, you see the arrow is flaming there in his chest, kind of burns, but then like its rotting flesh swaths out the fire, but you can see that it has scorched that spot. It is Iggy's turn. Iggy is going to run up here near Iluna, as Iggy also sees off to the west that other one, and he kind of shouts over to everyone else. He says, "Hey, we got another one!" And then Iggy is going to cast Firebolt. That's a hit, and that's a hit. And this is all going against R2.
Now you just need a D2.
Is R2D2, yes. And that is 21 points of damage.
21.
21.
Do I do one?
All right, back to the top of the order. Me. You can see the rot troll there in that pond of water is starting to slowly heft himself up.
No.
The one in front of you kind of has a glaze over his eyes as the chieftain behind you is just just like murmuring different things in a language that even Iluna and you do not understand. But you hear the
There's ale
sound.
involved. Going
Yes,
after
you
the
hear the
booze.
sound of the crashing off to the west.
That's 30 feet.
5, 10.
I'm going towards the ale.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you could. You could definitely get 15 there. If you wanted to, you could get to this point.
Okay, I will go there.
Okay. You see another one of those rot trolls, like trundling through the brush. All the lizard folk are starting to collect into this central area. These lizard folk that are here are taking defensive positions in order to try and defend or trying to protect the commoners.
Fuck the women and children. The beer's in danger. I proceed as I'm running. I'm going, I'll save the ale, and I'll turn back to R2 and shoot him with the crossbow.
Okay.
And that's considered a sneak attack because there is an enemy near him.
There is an enemy within 5 feet of him.
And just for shits and giggle purposes, because I like the effect of the first one, I'm going to load this one with the entangling arrow.
Right.
So let's see. Hopefully it hits. Nat 20!
Oh my fucking god. Oh my god!
Okay,
What the
so
fuck?
let's see here. That's 8 damage from the crit.
Wait,
my
hold
sneak
on.
attack is 46. Does that just get maxed out with the nat 20?
Hold on. You just attacked with your crossbow with sneak attack damage and the entangling arrow, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
46.
in total it's 5d6 plus 4d8.
Yes.
So okay, so yeah, you rolled that. So roll your sneak damage and roll your 4d8.
Well, there's the 5d6. So that's 18. And 4d8. And that's 21.
So it's 8. Hold on. I don't need to do math. Okay, no, we're going to do the math. Because shit just hit the fan with this. So you just dealt 8 plus 18 plus 21 plus the maximum of 5d6, which is 30, and 4d8, which is 32. So you hit it for an additional 62 points of damage.
Yes.
Which is 109.
Yes. Is it dead?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Is he dead? Okay.
Oh, also, let's not forget Whales from the Grave, because its friend is within 30 feet of it, so it takes 2d6 necrotic. The one rolling around in the river.
Okay,
Or in the
he's
pond.
just going to take 2d6.
Wouldn't it take... Yeah, no. Never mind.
It's just 4 necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh,
But-
what a...
When you score a critical hit that deals piercing damage to your creature... Oh, you already did the roll additional die, didn't you?
No.
Oh, well, with piercing
It doesn't
critical
matter,
hit-
Jared. He was dead. You fucking murdered him.
Yeah, murder hobo.
Listen,
I
there
mean,
was
sure.
ale
If you
involved.
want to roll one more d6, be my guest. Let's see. Let's see it, buddy.
113
There you go.
points of damage.
Another 10 points on top of it. God. You know, I introduced rot trolls because I think they're going to be a challenge, and fucking the troll slayer fucking murks this thing in the side of the head. Okay, calm down, Lucas. I have another one.
Okay, I just
so
like the entangling arrow. So now he's just covered in goo and is super dead.
Super dead.
and the worst part is, I even thought to myself, like, oh, the path that you went, you would have got an opportunity attack, but you didn't because of this guy. So yeah, basically what happens here is you see me run flank against this rot troll. The chieftain in the back is still mumbling his spell. The glazed eyes of this rot troll is just, the putridness of it is still exuding out. And all of a sudden, me is screaming as he's watching this other troll move in towards all the commoners and everything, barreling towards the ale, and just turns around, one shot straight through the dome of the rot troll. Just something about it just causes its head. You hit like a gas pocket in its brain that just explodes out, crumbling this thing to the ground.
I mean, it's also covered in acidic goo. Oh, why are we moving on? I still get one more attack because I killed him with a one-handed weapon.
Oh,
Because
that's
crossbow
true.
expert.
Yeah,
However,
of course. Sorry.
I am rolling with disadvantage because he's prone.
Yes, he is.
That's a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, see, that's not bad. That's only 5 piercing damage I just
only
shot
5
that
piercing
other
damage.
guy with.
That's right.
See?
It's like,
See, Lucas.
boom! And then just pink.
Just the pure acidic damage of melting the rot troll.
Yeah.
And then I just fire a normal arrow.
Oh my god. Smith, it is your turn. You see this rot troll starting to rise up out of this pond as he has extinguished his flames. You just watched me blow the brains off of this other troll that was exuding this aura in front of you. What do you do, buddy?
He's not bloodied or anything, right?
The one in the pool is actually.
Hmm. Let's just go with a firebolt.
Firebolt?
On
Okay.
the pool.
Good old bolt of fire. That hits. You son of a bitch.
Did I get it?
No, it's still alive, but you dealt fire damage to him. That's all I care about. All right. Iluna, it is your turn.
I was gonna ask a question, but I'll just focus in character. I was gonna say, it's disadvantage if I shoot over 120 feet.
It is
My
disadvantage if
arrow.
you shoot over 150 feet.
50. Oh, there's a 5, not a 2. But I'm just gonna aim at the one in the water, because
Okay.
these caged people are the goal.
Are you moving to the southern side of this cage or to the northern side? Just to
Probably towards
to
the
get it-
southern side.
Okay.
So, oh, I see. Oh.
Alrighty then. Yeah, that hits.
Sorry.
The impotent danger gives me strength. 11 damage.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that one's good.
That also hits.
I lost my favorite foe, but... You said
Yes,
that
you
one
did.
looked bloodied.
He is very bloodied.
Okay. We're good. Anime. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's like 40 feet. 50 feet.
From right there, it's 30 feet.
Okay, she can do her two,
Okay, roll the attacks.
I keep losing my mouse. Switching through screens.
Hey, believe me, I know how you feel. I got 4 of these things.
Right?
I have a program on my computer called Power Toys, where if I double press the control key, it highlights my cursor with a big red circle and dims
Lucas,
everything
I don't
else.
know if you really want to be on Twitch talking about how you have a program called Power Toys.
Power Toys, yeah. I love it. I love this app. In fact, it's actually how I snap all of my windows around, because it gives me the freedom to make snap zones so that I can always have my windows in the same exact spot.
That first
All right,
one was 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Right.
Yep.
And it did 8 damage? Oh, 16.
That hits.
Is that alright? Cool. And she can fly all the way
Okay.
back.
16 hits, but 15 doesn't.
Almost as if it has a 16 AC.
Yeah, boy. See? I know
Yeah.
pays attention.
Boy.
And she can fly.
She could fly back to here. That
That's
is 30
fair.
feet. All right. Me or you? Not me.
Me and you. You and me.
Me and you.
Eldritch Blast.
Me. Go ahead, buddy. That misses. That hits. That kills that one.
Yay! Lucas, you seem a little upset.
I'm only just trying to kill you. Yeah, you make your way up there. Shit, I forgot to make...
Thank God,
make
you
my
know
way downtown.
priority. Ale.
I forgot to turn that.
Nah,
thing
the high
into
ground.
It's
to a
over,
light source.
Anakin.
It's over, Anakin. I have the
I
high
have
ground.
the high ground.
Steve? Hey, Steve, can you say that line?
What?
Can you just say, it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
So much better in a British accent.
No, why, thank you. Most things are, I find.
Yeah, they are. As an American, we are tended to believe that the British accent is intellectual and profound. Not that you're not just all a bunch of football hooligans.
Only half.
You mean soccer? Come on, Lucas. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, 11 p.m.
Shut up.
afternoon.
11. I'm not gonna get on my hill right now. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. We got shit to do.
I'm done.
All right. Albina is going to run
Late.
in the same direction that you is, and I don't even think from there she'd be able to do much. Yeah, she can make her sword appear at a range over there. So You know what? Actually, that's her. That's the token I used for her dancing rapier.
The
What is this?
dancing rapier.
Spiritual weapon. There we go. All right. So she creates that within 60 feet of her.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that is
gotcha.
going to use her last second level spell. And with that,
No one
she's
then.
not going to be able... Actually, she could. She could dash. So...
No one then.
Actually, she could have dashed... She could have dashed to there first. And what is within 60 feet? Okay. So that is going to be right there. It is still a little difficult to see that thing out beyond the... well, you all have dark vision, so never mind. You can pretty much all see it. All right. So up
Yeah,
next
I got dark vision of 120.
is these lizard folk, as they are going to make their pathway around,
Like
as
little
well
children.
as the chieftain running up this way. He is going to stop his advance there. But I don't believe he would have anything that he could do. You know what? Actually, he is going to... He's not going to go that far. He's basically going to get right behind you here, or me. And me, when you see him appear behind you, he goes, "You are an excellent fighter. I'm glad to do business with you."
No,
And then-
I'm you.
God. And then you see that he shakes that staff that he has near his throat, and then all of a sudden, just this loud booming voice. He hisses something out in Draconic. Iluna and you, the two of you, can hear him say, "Tribe, move back, get away from it." And it this shudders the entire area. This booming, thunderous sound from his voice.
Is it like thaumaturgy?
It's almost like thaumaturgical magic. And as he's saying that, you see that the commoners are starting to run backwards. Even the flail snails that are sitting here are starting to attempting to retreat back from where they were. I don't have a great
But
way
the
of...
ale can't move. The ale needs protected.
The ale can't move.
Worry about the people in the cages who also can't move.
I know that I can't change the map, but yeah, the flail snails are where they are now.
Whoa.
All right, it's the rot troll. It's going to run into the center of the village.
No,
And
Lucas,
see
that's
that-
on top of barrels.
That is almost as if it's on top of barrels. So you actually see that where this one, where he runs through, the one carriage actually that this flail snail has attached to him just is knocked over on top of the barrels. As this thing crashes through it. You see, as soon as he comes to stop on top of this thing, he lets out this roar. And as he does, you see this flail snail here at the top, as well as the one next to it, and this lizard folk that are trying to run away, and they're trying to usher away all of these commoners. You see that death detritus, that rotting aura that this thing is exuding is starting to affect them. That was minimal damage.
upon seeing the barrels crumble, I take my crossbow, load it with the thunder concussive bow, and load it into my mouth.
I'm going to say that you actually do not know the state of the barrels. They have been, they have been like, they have been buried underneath this cart, but you actually don't know the exact state of them. But you can definitely assume that they are crushed, if it makes you feel better. It makes me feel better.
How can a rogue rage and attack?
I can't.
Playing with its sword in its hands.
All right. Cephtus, you hear this clamor and commotion coming from the center of the camp. Hey, buddy, nice weapon. You hear all this clamor and commotion coming from the center of the camp. You can see the troll has knocked over one of the carts being pulled by the snail. It has landed on top of where the barrels of ale are. That rancid degradation that is exuding from it starting to affect the snails as well as some of the commoners. You can actually see that two of the smaller commoners have fallen to the ground in their attempt to escape.
Yeah. I wish I could do it, except shoot it a couple of times, I think, from here.
Yep,
So I'll do that
stepping away
again.
from the computer just to go grab dinner, and then I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, say it again, Steve.
Yeah, I'll just shoot it from here. I don't think as much as I can do at this range, so I'll just have another crack with a couple of arrows. I'll light him on fire as well.
All right.
That's missed.
That is unfortunately a miss.
That's a miss.
That is also a miss. As you take these two shots, the chieftain is standing behind you. You hear him continuing to chant, and then he looks at you and he says, that bow is too small for you. All right, Iggy's turn.
Steve.
Hello? What?
Yes.
Yes,
Mic working
Steve.
again?
The chieftain has exclaimed that the bow you are wielding is too small for you.
Oh, okay. It is the best I can do with what I've got.
And you hear him give an exasperated sigh. All right, it is Iggy's turn. He is going to cast. I think this is going to be his last first level slot. 1, 2, and 3. So we're looking at 9 points of damage with a magic missile against the troll. All right. Me. Oh, Jared's not back. Well, everyone want to take a quick 5 seconds to take a breather. Let me take in the fact that you guys have just killed 2 of my rock trolls.
How many are left? No more sneak out from the.
I mean, technically, I could just throw an infinite amount, but I mean, there's no challenge in that.
And look at Aaron's weapon.
Yeah, what is that called?
The two-handed falchion.
I thought that was a falchion. I was very tempted to say that, but I did not want my ignorance to betray me.
It's bigger than I anticipated.
That's what she said.
Oh, my. It keeps going.
That's a penis joke.
That's so funny. I never expected it.
It is now touching the roof.
It's
Something about a
Jesus.
penis?
Aaron's two-handed falchion. Wait, is that stamped or is that etched?
It would see through.
Oh, it is see-through, huh?
Because I could see his face.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I could see his skin through it. Jared,
Yeah.
it is Me's turn.
buddy of mine actually out in Arizona made this for me.
Nice. Yeah, you
Yeah.
overheard the chieftain as Cephas took 2 shots with his longbow. You heard the chieftain behind him give an exasperated sigh as he said that the bow was too small for him.
Penis joke. Hey, it's not about the size, it's what you do with it. Hence why the small little hand
It's how
crossbows
you
been putting in
use
work.
it.
Right.
Alright, so that's 30 feet. I'm loading my last arrow. He pissed me off. He destroyed the ale.
As you get closer, you get within range of of Iluna where she's standing. The flail snails here are trying to get out of here. There's almost a stampede around you. Basically, it is a stampede that you're kind of moving into this area as the chieftain had shouted thaumaturgically to tell everyone to get back. So you're kind of being like battered and, pushed into. People are, lizard folk are running through the water through there. You said you were loading your other alchemical arrow?
Yep. I don't care. I'm plowing through. I'm killing this guy. He destroyed the ale.
So this is concussive. So go ahead and roll the attack.
Anti arrow?
That's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right, since he's technically near enemies, I get sneak attack, right?
No. He's not near enemies. No one's within 5 feet of him, and the snails are not attacking.
It doesn't say they have to attack. It just says you don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it.
The flail snails are not its enemy.
I mean, I thought the entire village was.
Why are they fleeing? Suck it, Lucas.
He has to look at this and figure it out now.
He's like, I goddamn.
I mean, I know what the
you,
words
Jared.
say. I know what the words say.
If you vote against it, it's fine.
I
Attack the
only
snail.
only because there is only one snail that could be considered its enemy, and that is not the one that is next to it. That would be the one with the blue shell.
Okay.
Well, technically, there's 2 snails next to it.
There are, but the one with the blue shell is the furthest one north.
Regardless, that's 5 piercing damage. However, I take that back. I'm re-rolling that because of my piercer ability of re-roll damage. So let's try that again. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, nice.
And then that was 4d8 thunder damage.
And it has failed its save, so it will be knocked prone.
Sweet. That's 19 thunder damage. And now I'm going to shoot it again, but I have to... Since this is still it's prone, so I have to roll disadvantage now.
That is correct. You have knocked it prone.
That's a solid 10 because they're both 3s.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, that misses.
Oh, darn, so close.
You still have inspiration for the day.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess I'll use it. Give me that one last roll. 16.
That meets it.
And there's 6.
All right.
I'm so mad. I'm just angrily firing arrows. All of those shots I've missed, I have loaded my crossbow and missed those shots in pure rage.
You see the rage is starting to well out of you as you see a trickle of liquid coming from under where he stands. Smith, the chaos of this fight is continuing on towards the center of the village. You have heard me screaming at the top of his lungs, and the crowd of lizard folk beginning to make their way away from the center and over to the eastern side of the village, trying to move on to the other side of this rocky lift.
All right, let's move up a little bit.
Okay.
Oh.
You can move
Yeah.
just to the side of that snail.
That's as far as I can go.
That is as far as you can go with 30 feet.
How far away is he?
He is
There's a lot
currently 70 feet away.
Just the one left?
Just the one, yes.
Do another chromatic orb, fire chromatic orb.
Okay. You don't want to try another element? I mean, the other elements are really cool, like thunder and cold.
Oh, yeah?
They are. They're really awesome. Like, one's really loud and the other one's really cold.
Those wouldn't be
I mean,
weak to fire, would they be?
I'm not saying that they're weak to fire, but I mean, I'm just saying, you know, like other elements are really cool. Go ahead and roll the damage. And sure you want to go with fire? Like you're totally sure? Yeah. Okay. All right. Son of a fucking bitch. You know, the funny thing is, when I play at the library, I have to watch my mouth because, like, there's people there. All right, you blast him with a orb of fire. I mean, you can change your mind still. Okay,
And do
I'll
double
take this no. All right, Iluna, you watched Smith go up and shoot a colorful orb of indeterminate type towards this thing. It gives you no information towards what you should do in your own attacks.
Okay. I'm still wary about fire anyhow, so I can't make anything fire that quickly. I was I can't do healing spirit to heal are these people look injured? Or would that not work?
The ones that have fallen?
No, the people in their carts, the crates.
Oh, I mean, there were no people in those. Like, all the lizard folk had already been out, and they are now moving in mass. But there are some that, from that, like, rancid degradation have fallen and are, like, laying on the ground in between this snail and this lizard folk. There's about 3 or 4 of them from what you can see. Most of them small. You imagine maybe children.
Good to know. But healing spirit doesn't. It just stands there.
It does. Yes, you can create it, and then any creature that starts its turn or the first time that it starts its turn in that space heals 1d6. And it can heal with a +2 to wisdom. It can heal 3 times before it disappears. So what would you like to do?
I'll hold that. I'll just shoot at it. This thing needs to stop its freaking rampage.
Okie dokie.
No.
Unfortunately, that misses.
Okay, try again.
Okay. So, inspiration reroll.
Better.
That hits.
Only 4. Oh my goodness, another 14.
Fortunately, that also misses.
Can't fix that one. Can I favor foe with that first hit?
Yeah, you
I
can.
was just rolling those all together. 1d6. One. Mediocre. Is enemy close enough to fly that far? I feel like she's not.
I mean, or anime is, sorry, anime is 85 feet away.
Too far. None of my bonus actions very useful.
What was that?
I said none of my bonus actions are very useful. I'll just buff. She's after me. You will probably take him out, but in case she doesn't, I can buff Albina a bit. Oh my god. Again.
Okay, so gonna give her that bonus to AC. All right.
Does that
Up
those
next. Oh,
reset
yep.
like
The bracelets. Double check. It regains both expended charges at dawn.
oh. Yeah, she's got a weapon out. That weapon counts for the rad strike.
Yeah.
Or-
Wait. No, that's a spiritual weapon.
Oh.
Spiritual weapon does not count towards that.
Alrighty ho, then we'll just buffer like I said previously. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Right.
Ugh.
Up next is you.
We got Soldier Boy up in here now?
You. Aaron,
Yeah.
it's your turn.
Okay. Sorry, that just took way too long, so I just kind of zoned out.
All good. No worries.
Pen. And then Eldritch Blast.
All right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, they both hit. 18 points of damage. It is now bloodied.
That's all I got.
All right. Up next is Albina. She is going to use her bonus action to have the spiritual weapon fly back 20 feet. There we go. And she herself is going to... Nope, not the flail snail.
Yeah.
She is going to move up. And... I know that Hannah never gets within melee range, but I'm gonna say with the rad strike on, that is what she is going to do. So that is going to be Spirit Guardians, which is a Wisdom 15 from the Rot Troll. It succeeds, but it's still going to take half damage on an 8, so we got 4 radiant damage. And then her attack with Goblin's Bane. Is this thing? No, this thing's classified as a giant. Yes. Okay. It's gonna be. Ooh, that's rough. But if I'm not mistaken, your next weapon attack. your target's next weapon attack deals an extra. After 1 minute, if the target has not hit with a weapon, the ability ends with no effect. Okay. So she still has that. Right. Is these lizard folk down here? They are continuing their advance towards it. The chieftain, he is going to move up and around. You hear him still shouting to everyone to move, to get back. The flail snail back here starts to move away. These ones begin to progress forward from where they stood. This one continuing its charge back, and this lizard folk, he is now standing his ground, seeing Albina here, but the rest of them are continuing to keep the others safe and moving the crowd backwards. So this one that is right down here, he is going to attack with a javelin. That hits. So he's going to deal 5 damage to this guy as he runs in next to Albina with that stab. These guys down here, I don't believe they are within reasonable range yet. Nope. So it is now the rot troll. Can't do the thing that I wanted to do, but it stands. It stands from the concussive blast that knocked it back on its feet, and it is going to swing down at Albina as well as at the lizard folk that is in front of it. So that is a 17 against Albina, which misses. And then that is going to be a 26 against Albina and a 14 against the lizard folk. So Albina is going to take 11 slashing and 8 necrotic. So she takes 19 points of damage. And the lizard folk is going to take 18 points of damage. Never mind. You see that this lizard folk, while this is going on, the rot troll stands up. It's been pelted with fire. It's been knocked back by this thunderous concussive blast. It kind of like stumbles back. Albina moves up, trying to take a swing at it, and she misses. But her spirit guardians are peppering this thing. All of a sudden, this lizard folk moves up, stabs him in the side with a javelin, but as the rot troll stands, it goes to take a massive bite out of Albina. She imposes her shield in front of her in order to block it, but then doesn't see that it is swinging its giant arm down at her that hits her, sending her backwards. You can see that she has taken a massive hit, and then as this troll readjusts, it swings down and hits the lizard folk directly next to her, killing that one instantly, basically just crumbling it in half around its wrist. Seftis, you just watched that carnage play out.
Oh shit, I've got my carpet, I know. Fuck it, I'm gonna use my carpet, fly to there.
Okay.
And I'll use a charge of my flaming sword as well on it.
All right. That hits.
What did I roll for flaming sword? I forgot what that was. It's been a minute.
Whenever you use your charge?
Yeah.
So with that, you deal your aura damage in addition to what you did. So that is going to be 1d8 plus 3. All right, so we're looking at 9 plus 7, so looking at 16 fucking fire damage as well. God damn it. Okay. All right, second attack.
Oh yeah, what about that?
That hits.
I'll expend a charge of the flame sword and then another charge of it.
Alrighty then. Okay, so
1d8.
10 plus 5, so 15. All right, still standing, badly burned. You can see its skin is just falling off. It's starting to like sizzle and burn. You imagine if you had a great sense of smell, this would be the most rancid and putrid thing that you have ever experienced. In fact, you can see Albina next to you. She is like actively trying to cover her nose from the stench that this is just exuding around you. Iggy only has cantrips at this point, so seeing that that misses. And we're back to me. You can see that Cephas has run up. Albina's next to him. They are fighting this thing as the trickle of liquid underneath this troll is getting slightly larger.
I'm going straight up and I'm stabbing it with my sword. I'm angry.
I'm sure you are. That was my plan from the very beginning.
That's 23 to hit.
That hits.
That's 12 piercing damage. I'm triggering Disheartening Strike. When you hit a creature with an attack using this weapon, you can fill the target with unsettling dread. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw. I'm angry. And I'm going to trigger my sneak attack.
Yep, you can definitely do that.
Let me see here. Oh, wait, that was 1d6 too short, so add whatever this one is. So that's 12 on top of that. Take
Hey,
the
buddy.
crossbow out, and I shoot him again.
Yep.
That's a 17.
He did.
Oh, wait, nope, not done. 9 damage.
Your second attack missed, Jared.
Cephas, you are standing. You're standing in front of this troll. You have just slashed at this thing with letting out these volcanic eruptions inside of this troll as it is standing on top of this rubble and debris. You hear from behind you me just running up, screaming at the top of his lungs, wielding aloft this wielding aloft this black blade over his head, and with a swing that carries with it a fervor you have yet to see in such a small creature. He lands this massive attack, just digging the sword in, the shadows almost imbuing into the attack as if the souls from the mire of dead men are fueling his this rage. And you kind of, in that moment, feel a bit of a kinship with him. This unbridled rage that you're seeing coming out of me.
Nice.
And as you feel that,
Sure, he's dead. I'm pulling the crossbow out, and I'm unloading essentially a full clip into his dead body.
and then after a moment, it's all over. The silence carries through the village as the shouts and screams end. You see the chieftain. He runs over, looking at the carnage that surrounds him. There are what you now see from where this was. There are 4 dead lizard folk commoners that lay on the ground. Their feet kind of have this like rot that has taken them over, that was extremely fast and quick to just enwrap their bodies. You see that they are slowly disintegrating even while you watch them. The one that had time to swing, you can see that it has affected him, but there's a little bit still lingering on his flesh. This was the one that got broken in half. As the lizard folk looks, as the chieftain looks down at this troll, and you see just a
No, I don't.
yeah, you see this like anger, this hatred in this lizard folk's face.
Me
You
falls to
guys,
his knees and he starts crying as well because of the ale, not because of the commoners.
that was gonna be my question. Do you try and move any of the rubble and debris?
Oh, I very much do. I'm trying to dig out the ale. Fuck the commoners.
All right. Let's see what we get. You are moving. You can see as you step forward, you're trying to dig through there. The chieftain comes up from behind.
Kinky.
At this point, Albina steps back. You see that her aura recedes back into her. And a moment later, Seftis, you feel that likewise, your aura also recedes. And does anyone else approach this scene while this is going on? Like while you see me like on his hands and knees trying to dig out this ale.
That's still helping too.
Yeah, you's gonna help.
Oh,
That'd
good
be
man.
out of the
Good
keys.
people.
Okay.
What?
So yeah, Smith, you head up. You can see that the one flail snail that was at the front. We'll say one of the lizard folk there. He is coming over to you with the keys to the cages.
Oh, is that what I didn't hear what Smith said? Is that what he?
He said he was going over to get the keys to unlock the cages.
Okay, I would probably try and pass out these good berries.
Okay,
Are they like good burgers?
they are.
Maybe. She would look to see who seemed healthiest and speak with the soldiers first.
Definitely the soldiers look a bit hardier than the merchants. But you're not sure if that's because they've been out here less time or because they are soldiers and are trained to handle rougher situations. You can definitely see that the merchants in this other cart are, of the 8 of them, the half that is more worse for the wear.
Well, I'll start to hand out the good berries and to have them to take one.
You hand out the good berries. You see that they kind of ravenously eat into them. The one merchant looks at you and says, "Thank you so much. They have been feeding us but gruel. Mere slop from the floor." He quickly bites into it. He goes, "Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, so aromatic. Oh. It reminds me of the time it's in the city drinking ale and wines. Oh, what I miss."
We'll be getting you out of here shortly. I think.
We'll be right back. The baby decided to use me as a burp cloth, and I gotta go change.
Okay.
I think our
Sure.
wizard was getting the keys.
Yep. And it's at that point that you see Smith has arrived back with a set of keys that can be used to unlock these cages.
Right, I guess, hand a ration to whoever doesn't get a good berry and say sorry. but we will
He
talk about what's happened when we're all settled.
Yeah, we'll say that it's definitely the one of the soldiers that that you give the ration to, and he looks down at it. He nods thankfully, and he says, "Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather this than just one of those berries. I need some jerky." He opens up the container, bites into some beef jerky and some of like the nuts and trail mix. Smith, you can head over and you unlock the cages that they are in, freeing them from their prisons.
Iluna would ask Smith how Albina's doing, cause she may have the ability to heal herself, but Iluna will want to check on her if Smith says she might need some help.
I was going to say that you actually see Albina at this point over talking with Iggy up at the up by where that fire and that giant pot of water is.
Because Iluna mostly wants to make sure these 8... Is the good berry supposed to sort of renew strength, or...
Nope. It heals for 1 hit point.
Oh, so they would... They don't
It
end
provides
up...
it provides
they don't have
enough
any
nourishment. No, I mean, they do have HP. Everything has an HP, but it restores 1 hit point, and it also provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day.
Okay.
So. That is
All
why
right, I
life
guess I would
clerics.
guide them to a place that looked comfortable. And can I light a campfire?
There's a campfire
There
right
is
there.
already a very big fire.
You
With
think
a
these
Change
people
the
want
color
to
of
be
flame to
anywhere
green.
near the lizards?
I mean,
That
that's entirely. I mean, that is
I
up to you
suppose-
to
Oh,
ask
you don't
them.
trust the people we just fought with and I made negotiations with?
Uh,
You don't trust my talking
Not
skills?
me. These people were captured off the road. They might not necessarily trust them. So
You know, fine. Whenever I get the exclusive items, I'm not sharing. And I will make sure that the Lord's Alliance is the first picked off of the road.
Sounds right.
I guess Iluna would talk to them, ask them.
I'm too busy
Okay.
searching for ale.
Yeah. What
If
do you
they
ask them?
to make a campfire up here, or if you would want to join the community, I guess.
You see the merchants.
Respectable.
They kind of like look at one another cautiously, and they're like, I mean, we'll never survive out in the swamps by ourselves. We can't go anywhere without the likes of you. So
Oh, that attitude.
we are relegated to stay with you until you are willing to guide us back.
Not on your own. I mean, would you want to join the lizard folk and their big campfire? Or we can set you up with a smaller one, like between these cages, I guess, a little bit. I mean, might be safer in the community.
You see the soldiers. They walk up to the merchants, and they look at you, Iluna, and they're like, "Hey, look, we've been in terrible situations in the past, but honestly, they at least kept us alive. Who knows for how long, though. We'll take whatever hospitality we can get." And the merchants are like, "Well, I mean, we're not going to be sitting away from the larger group. If something else comes barreling through here, I mean, we would rather not be sitting ducks out and away from everyone.
They're good food.
What'd you say?
I said ducks are good food.
Ducks.
Sure.
Well, if you want, I'm going to check on my friend Iluna. Up there.
You just make a joke about them being sitting ducks and how you would eat them.
I think he did.
I think that's what he did. All right, so we'll say Smith. What do you do? Do you head up with Iluna over to Albina?
Sure. Before that, I mean, are there any weapons around that the soldiers can arm up?
The soldiers
What
don't
are
have
they-
any weapons.
Okay.
They just have their like basic garbs. They don't even really have armor to their name. You imagine as you kind of take a look at them that all of their armor and weapons are probably stored somewhere in one of these carts as as takeaway and loot for the lizard folk.
Okay. The carts being where again? Which carts are we talking about?
Those are on the map here. I'm gonna unclick, or I'm gonna remove these flail snail tokens. But they are where you see those flail snails on the map. Those are like the carts that hold that stuff. This one over here though is overturned. It's like basically occupying that space.
That's where we think the armor and everything is.
No, it could just be on any one of these carts. So
Okay.
there are 5 carts that actually have like stuff on them, but because the other 2 are where the cages were being kept. So you feel that if they are being kept anywhere, they're being kept in one of those carts nearby.
Okay. Are any of the lizard folk nearby, like immediate area?
Yeah. There's a couple of them that are, kind of corralling the commoners to settle down and getting them back in control.
Okay. Where's the chieftain? Is he nearby? Or the big guy? The leader?
As you look around, you see that the chieftain is standing over by me and you and Cephas. They are over by that one overturned cart. In fact, as you look over, you see the chieftain standing there. He begins to shout something, waving that stick overhead as Cephas, me, and you are trying to remove this rubble that the rot troll has knocked on. And you see a set of spectral jaws appear around the head of this chieftain. He's already wearing a skull as a helmet and a headdress, but you see this spectral jaw as he uses that to pick up this rot troll and then kind of leans back, and you see that he starts chomping down on it as it is disappearing into nothingness as it rolls down to him. But you see him up there. Cephas, me and you guys just watched this happen in front of you. He basically just, with a set of spectral jaws, ate this rot troll. But after seeing that, do you approach him, Smith, or do you head up there?
I'll be checking the nearby carts, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that you head up there. Do me a quick favor and roll me a d4.
Isn't that where he went to get the keys, though?
No, another lizard folk had brought the keys to him.
Oh.
Just want to get these guys geared up,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
I have some spare. Well, I have some armor. some leather armor, and I think there's a couple of weapons. If
Right.
whatever you find isn't intact.
So as you approach this one cart next to you, you look on it. What actually catches your eye is the emblem of the Neverwinter Guard. You actually see the shields set onto the side of this thing. They're strapped up against the side of this cart.
I'll gesture to the soldiers to come over here and grab their stuff. So this is
They
the guards, the soldier stuff.
Yeah, as the guards move up, they see that their stuff is strapped to the back of this one cart. You actually see one of the lizard folk that is behind you. He hisses something in your direction, but as soon as he does, he says it like he hisses in a very aggressive tone. But as soon as he does, you see the chieftain kind of move over as this spectral maw fades away from him back into this bony headdress, and he hisses something back. You and Iluna, the two of you hear this, hear the chieftain shout very loud in Draconic. He says, "Give them their stuff back. That was part of the deal." And the lizard folk
You
that is
also said I get the ale.
that the lizard folk that was kind of shouting this at you, Smith, you see that he steps back, moving his hand away from his weapon. At this point, the chieftain walks over to you, Smith, and he says, "Yes, get them armed. With the trolls now dead, the stench could draw smaller creatures, but they will be easy to deal with. The other trolls that hunt the swamps will be some time before any could reach us. Your allies." He eyes up the soldiers. He says, "They would have made a good fight. They deserve their weapons."
Well, I'm just kind of just giving him a nod.
And with that, you see that he reaches into where all of this is, and he pulls out this like massive staff from there, and he walks over. You see the guards like starting to grab their equipment. They see bits and pieces of their armor. Most of them, had chainmail. They each grab their shield, and within this, they find their long swords. While this is going on, Seftis, me, and you, the three of you are starting to dig this out. Me, one of them is cracked. Pretty bad, buddy. Ale is pouring out from a few orifices on it. But the other two have yet to be harmed. In fact, when the cart fell over on them, there was this cart happened to be holding a lot of the crafts and cloths and more textiles of the clan. So it wasn't there was nothing heavy. It was all mostly soft cloth. Unfortunately, the one that was crushed was where the troll had stamped his foot.
Oh. Me goes in and finds the two barrels, wiping tears from his eyes. He goes, "We lost a lot of greatness today, and this was probably the hardest of the losts." As he goes ahead, takes his little flask out or whatever, fills some of the ale from the cracked one, and then immediately pours it back on the barrel like he's pouring one out for a fallen person.
Pour one out for your homies.
Yep, pouring one out for a fallen homie. Then he goes ahead, fills it back up, and takes a drink from it. From the
All
same
right.
cracked wine.
From the same, yeah. while this is going on, Cephas, you're standing here. You're watching, me, suffering in this moment of great loss. You actually, in fact, I'll say most of you that are within this area, you can actually see a lot of the lizard folk are starting to drag the dead lizard folk, the commoners and the one soldier, over towards this fire where Albina and Iggy are and where Iluna is heading up to.
Yeah,
But
those commoners are
Cephas,
coming with me.
Cephas, you feel a tug at your back while you are watching me, feeling one of the greatest pains of all time, the loss of Ale. You feel like a quick tug at your back.
Jack.
Okay, I turn around and see who's tugging at my back.
You see the lizard. You see the lizard folk chieftain. He's standing there. He has this massive staff in his hand, and you can see what he was tugging on was your longbow. And as you turn around, he quickly adjusts himself, and he I know in video game terms it can just attach to your back. So however which way you have your longbow rigged to your back, he pulls that out and then shoves this staff into your hand. At this point, you now realize what he is handing you, as you can see the notches on the top and bottom, as well as the center has a curve to it. That this is a massive, almost twice the size of the longbow that you had in your hand. He looks at you as he shoves this staff into your hand. As he does, you can see the center of it has a piece of twine, some kind of rope wrapped around the center of it. As he shoves it into your hand, he says, and he's taking the longbow that you had from you, and he holds it in front of you. He says, "This is too small for someone of your strength. You need this." And so what he is handing you is an oversized longbow. What this is it is usable by medium and larger creatures that have a strength of 18 or higher. Basically, it shoots oversized arrows that deal piercing damage equal to 2d6 plus your strength modifier. It has the same range as a longbow, 150, 600, but like I said, it uses oversized ammunition, and it is also, which I think longbows are already, but yes, it is also heavy. Why?
150, 600?
100, 150 feet, 600 feet.
Oh, okay. I heard 150, 600. I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, yes, it's the range of a longbow. Anything under 150 feet is rolled normal. Yeah, no, anything under 150 feet is rolled normal. Anything over 150 is rolled with disadvantage, and it cannot exceed 600 feet. So I will have to add this to D&D Beyond, Steve, because I know it's not on there. But this is, like I said, this is called an oversized longbow.
This sounds terribly fun.
Terrible.
And it's strength. Yeah. That's strength based rather than dex based.
It is. It is so large that instead of it being something that is more nimbly launched, like someone like Iluna, this is one where you are you're grabbing. It's less of like a string and more of like a rope, and it is more like pulling it back with your entire hand, and the arrows that fly out of it are like almost 3 times the size of a normal arrow.
That sounds badass.
Sure,
So-
Can you put a goblin in there?
No,
Are you
No, you
sure?
Other than an arrow.
You're only
I'm
three
quite
times the
sure.
size an arrow.
What about a
If,
gnome?
if the arrow is considered large enough to be a small creature, a goblin is a small creature. Therefore, Septus can turn me into a literally a launched attack where I'm holding my blackened rapier in front of me and I am the arrow.
No. I don't know what you're no. Yeah, like I said, I
No, we'll
will
talk
I'll add
after the
that
game and
to
work out the details.
yeah, sure, buddy. We'll keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
I brought it up, so yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so we'll like I said, I'll add that to D&D Beyond later this evening so that it's on there for you.
Awesome.
All right. So we'll say at this point, the soldiers are now geared up. The merchants are still very tentative and hesitant to even approach, like the clan, like the lizard folk in general. At this point, Iluna, you have moved over.
I would not have.
What?
This is something I've been trying to say.
Oh, I thought you were going
If
up to where
I
Albina
will.
was.
I invited them to come up with me to Albina, but she's not going to leave them if they're not going to come forward.
They look at you and they're like, once the soldiers are able to defend us, we will come and join. And they give the one who's been talking this whole time, he just gives this weak smile.
But yeah, because when I said I would go see my friend Albina, I was inviting them to come with me, and if they aren't ready yet after their horrifyingly traumatic experience, she's gonna wait with them. So
Okay.
so when they feel comfortable to move a little bit more in and join us, she'll go with them and check out Albina.
Okay, so yeah, we'll say that what you're kind of seeing with the rest of the village, you see the lizard folk are starting to like finally calm down, come back together. They have dragged the bodies of the 5 lizard folk that have died over to where the fire is. We'll say at this point, maybe do you do anything with the ale that is still good?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna very much try and roll it over to the party and whatnot.
Okay. So we'll say everyone kind of starts to slowly congregate this way.
I'll be right back.
Okay. You see that the chieftain is now taking a more prominent stance atop this mound. In fact, we'll say that this blue-shelled snail has actually moved over into this area, and it is standing atop of it. And as it looks down over the crowd, it hisses a command and says, "Clan, today we have faced strife, but in that we have found ally." And he looks over, at your party members. Semuana brought them to us, and sacrifices had to be made. And you see he gestures down to the 5 dead lizard folk in front of him. And he says, "As the moon rises high into the evening sky, We will feast upon their flesh and muscle to gain their strength, their power, but importantly, the memories they carry with them. For they shall live on in our veins, in our flesh, and in our memories.
He's talking about the lizard folk and not us, right?
He is gesturing, and as he's saying this, as you are all watching this, this pot of water that was being boiled to create the bait for these rot trolls, you actually see that the lizard folk that are standing here that are carrying these dead bodies of lizard folk, some of them children, some of them indistinguishable gender, and the one soldier, you see that they draw their scimitars and knives and they begin chopping into their dead bodies and throwing bits and pieces into the boiling water. Iluna, you hear from behind you these merchant go, "Oh my god, they're going to eat they're eating the dead. They are cannibals. They are monsters."
And he kind of shrugs his shoulders and he goes, I mean, I'll join in for the feast. Never had lizard folk. Does it taste anything like gator?
Iluna was saying
Good.
to them that everyone has different cultures. They
Yes, but
possibly consider our ways just as horrible
I mean, but
or
you,
confusing.
but it might make sense to eat your dead. I mean,
He said, trying to gain their memories and their power.
that is why I have art of my family. That is how the memories are shared.
Just a bit different.
So with this, you see that they, all of these bodies have been thrown into this water. The chieftain steps down, and he's standing next to you, Smith. And Seftis, are you still over in this area, or where are you at?
Yeah, I'll probably still hang around in this sort of area, I think.
Okay. So I would say you also see some of them, some of the lizard folk, like the soldiers, moving the dead bodies of the rot trolls into that pond. And they have also brought over the body of the lizard folk that was thrown into this village to start the combat. And you see the lizard folk chieftain step down behind you, Smith, and he puts his clawed hand on your shoulder, and he gestures to the pot of boiling lizard folk, and he says, "You and your tribe saved ours today. You and yours, our guests of honor. You shall have your pick of the meat."
Wait a minute. Who the fuck decided he's the leader here? I did the negotiations. Wait a fucking minute.
I'll just say thanks. It's good. Oh, what should I say? Let me think for a second.
What I missed?
He said basically, what did he say? Yeah, what did he say again? He said, "He'll give
He
me the
said
pick of meat."
he's basically explaining that because you have all saved his tribe and have rid them of the danger of these three trolls, that you are his guests of honor in this moment, and that while you are here as part of this feast to eat upon the dead bodies of the lizard folk who died, that you and your party have first dibs at what meat you wish to eat.
Oh,
Can I get a drumstick?
I mean, there is various pieces of lizard folk meat in there.
Um,
I'll
the
just say,
berry. Sorry.
excuse me. I'll just say thanks. I'm just glad we could come to a peaceful arrangement.
And he nods and he says, he holds up a like what appears to be a religious symbol that is hung around his neck, and he says, someone guided you to us. It would have been a tragedy for us to be attacked if you were not here. They help preserve life. This is why we must eat our dead. It is an honor that you eat among us.
Oh, I'll
What
just
were you
kind of
going to
nod.
say? Oops. Okay, yeah, just nod.
Yep, pretty much.
You see me. I'm assuming me jumps in and grabs out of the pot.
Oh, absolutely. I'm finding the closest thing that looks like a turkey leg or something of that nature, and I'm gonna pull it out of the pot and take a bite in front of everyone, and essentially
How
says
long
it
have these
tastes
been
just like
cooking?
chicken.
What's that, Smith?
How long have these things been cooking?
Well, the water is boiling. I'm gonna say that it took them a couple minutes to gather everything, but most of it has only been boiling now for maybe a minute.
Real raw.
So this means probably pretty raw.
Yeah, like it was like flash. It was like flashed in hot water. So as you pull it out, it's basically just this like really hot piece of like very raw meat.
Mm.
So like
That's
brewing
not
steak.
stopping me.
Huh. I'll just kind of be looking at me with kind of a puzzled look.
I'll take a
You's
big
gonna
old
grab a
bite. I'll
handful
say,
of meat as well.
no, it needs a little more cooking time. Don't get me wrong, I like medium rare, but it's a little too raw. And he just puts it back in, and then he just kind of sits there and continues chewing it, pondering the taste. The
Yeah, you
bit that he
see
did bite off.
you see a lot of the lizard folk that are here. Like once you reached your hand in and took the bite out, you see there's this almost like collective acknowledgement that your tribe has had the first pick, and you see that some of like the soldiers are starting to grab at some of the meat that has only yet been flashed with boiling water.
He
Um,
just kind of sits back and he goes, or he kind of goes over to the group and he whispers to them and he goes, "At least this way, you guys don't have to eat it now. You're welcome."
No, I'm hungry.
like Iluna would have, out of honor, participated because
Okay.
she's killed plenty of things to survive. She gets what he's saying.
All right. So is Iluna
So
joining up to the group?
yeah, she would leave anime
Okay.
to and gently say to these merchants, "Come up near where the soldiers are," to
You see that
encourage them to
they
move a bit closer.
they're still definitely like standing behind where the soldiers are.
Good
Mhm.
berries make them feel full for a whole day. Is that the
It
notion?
does. It satisfies their need for nourishment for an entire day.
Okay. They're not gonna feel hungry, so that's good. I was gonna offer some rations, but they're probably queasy at the sight of this nonsense. Well,
Yeah,
nonsense to them.
basically eating it is already like filling enough for them.
Hmm. But Iluna would come up and participate because she wants this protection, or at least for Lylon to not have to fear the lizard folk, and she would talk to the chief or the leader or whatever. And
Okay.
say, as a representative of the Never Ember Alliance, the whole thing they're supposed to be doing with the
The Lord's
dragons.
Alliance, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I said. So,
Totally.
um, we appreciate your hospitality after this entire ordeal, and we hope we can make some kind of deal between your community and Pylon.
He looks at you and he nods and says, "Your tribe saved ours. I am of my word. You shall have our gratitude. You will find allies in us. And where we tread, you will have safety."
Also, if you ever plan on getting them boats, let us know.
We will try to offer the same. I can't fully speak for Lylon, but one of their representatives will try to get in touch. Crap, I was gonna say something else. I forgot. I'll pretend I said it if I remember later.
I don't necessarily know if that's how that works there, Stacy. I don't know what that
5
means.
days later. Okay, remember I said this?
5 days later, I said you're gonna give me all the shit that you own.
No, it was just something nice. I was not making any deal. And check on Albina. How is she doing?
You can see that Albina is has. I don't want to make the claim that she's going to have taken a bite from the stew because I don't know what she would want. I'm going to say that during
they were children.
I'm going to say that during this time, she has been like mending at her armor, basically, like the armor that was kind of crushed in. She's not using mending or anything like that, but you can see that she is still battle worn, as Iggy is using his ice abilities in order to try and quell the swelling that she has endured.
Does she have mending?
No, that's why I'm saying she's not literally mending, but she is like punching out her armor.
Well, that
has been dented
in. I thought she had mending. That's all.
I mean, I know she doesn't, but I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if a cleric can get mending. She cannot. Oh yeah, she can.
Wait,
she could if she wanted, but she doesn't.
It. Oh, she must have got rid of it because I thought she used it a long, long time ago when some orc-filled house was blown up. But regardless, I'd help her mend it. Does she need healing?
Metagame, she's 48 out of 67. But I'm gonna say you guys are gonna get a long rest after this. Because it has been a few hours that you guys have been trudging through the swamps. It is currently 8 o'clock at night in game, so it would take you a few hours to march back out to the road and then continue on. So with this knowledge, you see this clan of lizard folk. They have all gathered around you. They even begin to chant as as you are sitting here in Draconic. Those of you that understand that, Iluna and you can hear that they are giving, they are all like this low droning. It sounds like a chant to the same figure that the chieftain had kept mentioning, Semuana.
But we don't understand. They just say that name.
You hear that being said, but a lot of what they're saying, I mean, it sounds like, it sounds like a prayer almost, or like a calling to their god. And we'll say at one point, this chieftain comes up to you as he has a piece of meat. He's ripping into it, eating. And he says, "Your clan is welcome to spend the eve with ours. We would be honored for you to stay. We can assist you on the travel out of the swamp and return you to where we met." And he kind of says that. He says all this to you, but whenever he says that last part, he's kind of looking over to where the guards are and where the merchants are.
He says this in common.
Yes.
Okay. We all that would be very appreciated. We have to keep these citizens of ours safe as possible till we return to Lyon. Then anything could happen to them. I don't think.
All right. So is everyone cool with a long rest there?
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah.
take a long rest, I want to talk to the chieftain.
Okay. He is currently chowing down on a piece of lizard folk.
I'm
Well,
gonna be
if
me
if the
as he's
piece I
talking.
threw back in the pot is more cooked, I'll go ahead and grab that piece and go join him.
Yeah, it's more cooked at this point.
I'll grab that piece. I'll go join him, and I kind of want to sit down and be like, "So, I know we discussed about possible trade routes and whatnot of once I get my business up and running, but what I want to ask for right now is, do you have any way? I saw what you did with Septus's bow, or you gave him a much stronger version and so forth. Curious if you have any way to give arrows magical properties like the ones I was using, given I can't use them again because they were one shots. But I was just curious if, by chance, being the person that helped you guys out and started all these negotiations, if there's any chance that you have arrows like that for a small crossbow.
He So wait, are you asking for like the
Basically
alchemical?
asking either alchemy arrows or if he has poison arrows or any special arrows I can load into this crossbow.
Gotcha.
That's why I tried being as vague as possible by just saying arrows with similar effects or different effects, just some sort of special property arrow like he gave Septus with his longbow.
Okay. I'm going to say that he thinks about it for a moment, and he says, "It is possible that I might have something here. When our feast is over, I will check on some of the wares that we carry.
And in good faith, I will offer you a trade in that as well. And out of, I will pull out one of the hide medium armors I have and the ear horn of hearing. Be
Oh,
like, this armor is a little thicker, might help a little better for future endeavors. And this here will allow even your most deaf of people hear as clear as day.
I will accept these gifts in trade for what we have available.
And hopefully, this will go ahead and start a beautiful relationship of trade.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything that needed mending?
No,
Well, I
not
mean,
on.
like the snail, all that stuff that fell over, nothing got broke. None of the
Of
people.
that stuff. Yeah. That was more a lot of textiles and stuff. So, a lot of that got dirty and everything. We'll say there is probably some stuff that is shredded and ripped.
And aside from the people who died, the lizard folk who died,
Uh
did any
huh.
of them get injured?
Who of the party?
Of the lizard folk.
Oh, no. Other than the one soldier that was killed, or the soldier, the big one that was thrown in, who was already dead, and then the four commoners that
And
were
no one got. They
yeah,
they all got killed. No one got injured and still
correct.
alive.
No, yeah. They all, yeah, because it was the rancid degradation that kind of like just killed them outright, and then the other one literally got like folded in half.
Can I fix that ale bottle if it's still the one that was
The ale,
leaking?
the ale is gone.
Is
It
there
has
anything left?
poured into the. I mean, you can fix it definitely. You can spend time
There
mending
just
it.
be no ale.
What's
Well,
that?
But
maybe we can
why is the rum gone?
Why is the
bring
rum
it
gone?
back. Maybe we can bring it back with us anyhow, so they can fill it in the future. No, I was just trying to offer her other hospitality things, like fixing or healing any of the
Yeah,
lizard
they.
folk.
We'll say that they. Um, we'll say that. Yeah, we'll say there's some things there. Like if you go over to where the barrel is and like where all that stuff was destroyed, and you start casting mending, you will see the lizard folk kind of looking at you in a bit of reverence. They kind of whisper to one another, and you're hearing them in Draconic, and they're like, "Oh, she can fix this. See, they are sent by someone. They bear magics like the chief." So they're kind of watching you in a bit of like divine reverence in a sense.
I would probably look up and flash a friendly, humble smile. Oh, the I don't know. Those trolls were a horror, an abomination. Any small bit
Yes.
of help.
Rot.
So, Lucas,
Yeah, buddy.
I want to talk to the chieftain as everybody goes
Okay.
to bed.
Everybody
Oh.
wants to talk to him.
Okay. Well, you have to contend with the fact that Cephas technically never goes to bed. And you have two elves that also don't sleep, technically. So
When everybody else, like all the other lizard folk and everybody else, is
we
heading
will
to bed, I want to talk to the chieftain.
sure.
'Cause
We will
I
say
don't
there's a
also
moment where
technically need to sleep either.
Yeah, we will say there is a moment where you can have the chieftain's undivided attention.
So I'm going to ask him if he's had any problems with Yanti.
Oh, that's a good one.
He kind of raises his scaled brow towards you. Says, "We have not had direct conflict with them, but we are not blind to the tracks they leave through the swamps. It is rare to see them around here. The omens the Semuana bestows to me tell me of war and strife in the future. But where and when, that I am not blessed to know."
So if we were to run into them on our adventure out of the swamps, would would you attack them if they attacked us, or would you just let them be?
He puts his hand on your shoulder when you say that, and he says, "You have saved my tribe today. You have been sent to us from the protector, the progenitor. We will defend you. Your enemies, our enemies."
If you ever come across any of their encampments, would you, I'd appreciate any information that you either have or come across in the near future. And if you have any enemies that we can help you out with, I would greatly would be at we would be willing to help you out as well as you help us
With
out.
that, yeah, with that, he nods and he says, "When you hear the whispers of Semuana on the wind, shall be I calling to you for aid. You can do the same, and we will appear."
Okay. If I get this written down, and can I get you to sign it in the morning? Are you okay with that?
My signature is quite atrocious. Handwriting was not taught at my school.
That's quite all right.
In Christ.
All right, so I think we're gonna call it there for the night. I know we had technical difficulties, and it is but 9 o'clock, but I am extremely tired. I just need to know, before we head out, who this evening ate the meat from the lizard folk.
I did.
Oh, man.
You
Fucking Iluna had like a bite out of honor or respect or something.
Probably poisoned, am I? Or do I wake up with gonorrhea?
Why?
Smith, Seftis.
I had some cooked meat.
Yep, that's. Yep. As long, once it was cooked, Seftis, did you attempt to imbibe some?
I didn't know I could eat, to be honest.
I mean,
but yeah,
I mean, technically,
I probably would have done.
Technically, nothing stops you from eating. You just don't. You don't have to. You don't need to eat, but technically, you can. Like, I did as Cooper whenever I played. My Warforged. It was like chunks down into him. In fact, you actually
he
see.
would have. No, go ahead.
I was just say, you see, like, as everyone is, as you're starting to see everyone the lizard folk reaching into this giant pot of now cooked lizard folk meat. You see one of the small children, one of the small little lizard folk. He comes up and he's holding this like basically it's a thigh over his head and says something in Draconic to you, which mostly sounds like incoherent hissing. I will say, Iluna and you, if you are within earshot, you hear this little lizard folk looking up at Cephas and says, "For those who have saved our tribe, eat, feast."
If I would tell him.
Yeah,
Just
I would have eaten it. I would have eaten it anyway, to be honest, if I know I could have done. I didn't know I
yeah.
could eat. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have got down with everybody.
All right, cool.
Down with the
Um,
sickness.
And just
I
to
will
clarify,
have to
I only
s-
took
Oh,
a bite
no.
out of it when it was just raw hot meat, and then I threw it back in to finish cooking before I ate the rest.
I will have to I'll have to send a message. So far, I'm just going to put this in there just so I keep track of who did eat that meat. I'll have to send a message to Albina, seeing if she would have eaten the meat as well. And you guys will find out why that matters next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh no, we had food poisoning.
I
Um,
wanted to
yeah.
say it. I wanted to talk about their god at some point, but it could be while we're trekking back or
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna have a couple hour journey back to. It's not gonna be the whole. It's not gonna be the whole village. There'll be some of the soldiers with you.
or before we leave, ask their chief about
Yeah.
the
Did we
god.
long
that they
rest
would
yet?
out.
Oh, we're not long
Yeah.
rested yet.
No, you
Okay.
are gonna go ahead and get a long rest.
Oh.
Oh.
Hell yeah, everything's refreshed,
Yay.
including Fury of the Small.
Nice.
That also put my inspiration can come back.
All right, that was fun, everyone. I gotta
Yeah.
go. Mostly because I gotta run to the bathroom.
More productive than I might imagined. When the trolls started coming down closer to the crates, I thought for sure they'd end up trampling our
Your poor ale.
not the ale.